Democracy didn't have it come to pass that you have anything like that.
Just check that.
I'm the Vendo Hobo.
Who do you think comes out?
I'm so glad that Vendo Net.
I think he's primed for a comeback.
I think that's right.
The whole story of this campaign is set up
Vendo Net.
because he's had such a rough couple of weeks.
Got these machines outside.
In the last couple of days, and I think
Cause these folks so don't know that I ain't got no cable at home.
And there's a month left.
I ain't even got my lights.
It's not over. It's not close to over. No one's voted yet.
But I want to see my President Obama
too much at stake
in his debate.
The country, the media coverage.
So I'm so thankful for this company called Vendo Net.
And I also think the challenger is enhanced by being there against the
The
president.
Vendo Hobo. I'm the Vendo Hobo. These machines got all kind of cameras and people all over the world can see you. They can see you with this camera right here. Hello?
And of course, look for this big
Will somebody please send me a soda?
Well, and that's really the issue. Is this going to change tonight?
I'm the Vendo Hobo. Sound like I heard one phone. Thank you. I'm the Vendo Hobo. And we at this machine, Vendo Net.
Now, tonight,
And we so happy
finally we're
they let us see our president debate on these streets, because we ain't got no cable. I'm so happy for Vendo Net. And they're the first ones in history to broadcast the presidential debate on the streets. So people ain't got no cable can see it. My president finna argue for
Gentlemen, welcome to you both. Let's start the economy, segment 1, and let's begin with jobs. What are the major differences between the two of you about how you would go about creating new jobs? You have 2 minutes. Each of you have 2 minutes to start. Coin toss is determined, Mr. President.
Well, thank you very much, Jim, for this opportunity. I want to thank Governor Romney and the University of Denver for your hospitality. There are a lot of points I want to make tonight, but the most important one is that 20 years ago I became the luckiest man on earth because Michelle Obama agreed to marry me. And so I just want to wish, sweetie, you a happy anniversary and let you know that a year from now, we will not be celebrating it in front of 40 million people. 4 years ago, we went through the worst financial crisis since the Great Depression.
Oh, it's their anniversary.
Millions of jobs were lost. The auto industry was
he had to work.
the brink of collapse.
President
Financial
Obama
system had frozen up. And because of the resilience
President
and
Obama.
determination of the American people,
Cheers
we've begun
to
to
you.
fight our way back. Over the last 30 months, we've seen 5 million jobs in the private sector created. The auto industry has come roaring back, and housing has begun to rise. But we all know that we've still got a lot of work to do. So the question here tonight is not where we've been, but where we're going. Governor Romney has a perspective that says if we cut taxes, skew towards the wealthy, and roll back regulations, that we'll be better off. I've got a different view. I think we've got to invest in education and training. I think it's important for us to develop new sources of energy here in America.
Yeah.
That we change our tax code.
Yeah.
Make sure that we're helping small businesses and companies that are investing here in the United States. That we take some of the money that we're saving as we wind down 2 wars to rebuild America. And that we reduce our deficit in a balanced way that allows us to make these critical investments. Now, it ultimately is going to be up to the voters, to you, which path we should take. Are we going to double down on the top-down economic policies that could help to get us into this mess, or do we embrace a new economic patriotism that says America does best when the middle class does best? And I'm looking forward to having that debate.
Governor Romney, 2 minutes.
Thank you, Jim. It's an honor to be here with you, and I appreciate the chance to be with the President. pleased to be
VindoNet. Thank you for letting us watch a free presidential debate.
And congratulations to you, Mr. President.
Well, I ain't got no cable.
I'm sure this was the most romantic place you could imagine. Here with me. So congratulations. This is obviously a very tender topic. I've had the occasion over the last couple of years of meeting people across the country. I was in Dayton, Ohio, and a woman grabbed my arm and she said, "I've been out of work since May. Can you help me?" Ann yesterday was at a rally in Denver, and a woman...
Millions of our people and states, not the federal government. Second, we're going on still on the economy on another part of it. All right? All right, this is segment 3, the economy. Entitlements. First answer goes to you, 2 minutes, Mr. President. Do you see a major difference between the two of you on Social Security?
You know, I suspect that on Social Security, we've got a somewhat similar position. Social Security is structurally sound. It's going to have to be tweaked the way it was by Ronald Reagan and Democratic Speaker Tip O'Neill. But the basic structure is sound. But I want to talk about the values behind Social Security and Medicare. And then talk about Medicare, because that's the big driver of our deficits right now. You know, my grandmother, some of you know, helped to raise me. My grandparents did. My grandfather died a while back. My grandmother died 3 days before I was elected president. And she was fiercely independent. She worked her way up, only had a high school education, started as a secretary, ended up being the vice president of a local bank. And she ended up living alone by choice. And the reason she could be independent was because of Social Security and Medicare. She had worked all her life, put in this money, and understood that there was a basic guarantee, a floor under which she could not go. And that's the perspective I bring when I think about what's called entitlements. You know, the name itself implies some sense of dependency on the part of these folks. These are folks who've worked hard, like my grandmother, and there are millions of people out there who are counting on this. So my approach is to say, how do we strengthen the system over the long term? And in Medicare, what we did was we said, we are going to have to bring down the costs if we're going to deal with our long-term deficits. But to do that, let's look where some of the money is going. $716 billion we were able to save from the Medicare program by no longer overpaying insurance companies, by making sure that we weren't overpaying providers. And using that money, we were actually able to lower prescription drug costs for seniors by an average of $600. And we were also able to make a significant dent in providing them the kind of preventive care that will ultimately save money throughout the system. So the way for us to deal with Medicare in particular is to lower healthcare costs. When it comes to Social Security, as I said, you don't need a major structural change in order to make sure that Social Security is there.
Governor Romney, you have 2 minutes on Social Security and entitlements.
Well, Jim, our seniors depend on these programs, and I know anytime we talk about entitlements, people become concerned that something's going to happen that's going to change their life, unfortunately. And the answer is neither the President nor I are proposing any changes for any current retirees or near retirees, either to Social Security or Medicare. So if you're 60 or around 60 or older, you don't need to listen any further. But for younger people, we need to talk about what changes are going to be occurring. Oh, I just thought about one. And that is, in fact, I was wrong when I said the President isn't proposing any changes for current retirees. In fact, he is on Medicare. On Social Security, he's not. But on Medicare, for current retirees, he's cutting $716 billion from the program. Now, he says by not overpaying hospitals and providers, actually just going to them and saying, we're going to reduce the rates.